Assalamu alaikum, dear viewers. If Islamic history has taught us one thing, is that no matter how dreadful someone's past is, if he or she even intends to make it right or atone for his mistakes, Allah creates fascinating pathways that lead him or her to the path of righteousness. This story is about one such person, a former US Marine, Richard McKinney, who once planned to bomb a mosque, but in a twisting turn of events, ended up becoming a Muslim himself. To begin with, growing up, Richard McKinney was always the boy who was into the adventure genre. His favorite movie was Rambo, which was characterized by plenty of action. The protagonist of the movie was Rambo himself, whom McKinney believed to be tough, respected, and having an intestinal fortitude. McKinney wanted to be like Rambo. He wanted action, so got enrolled in the United States Marine Corps. Ultimately, for quite a number of years, McKinney fought several times in the Middle East: Desert Shield, Desert Storm, South America, Philippines, and Somalia. During this time, he took down countless enemies. At first, he used to count down the foes felled by him, but he lost count after 26. After serving in the Marine Corps for 25 years, he contracted an injury in Iraq and was forced to retire. Moving on, when he came back to his home country as a retired Marine, he was traumatized by all the deaths he had caused as a soldier. His nationalistic beliefs were amplified, and he decided that Islam was his enemy. He had begun drinking half a gallon of vodka every single day and was getting consumed by hate and anger. After his return, one day, McKinney went to a DSW with his wife. He saw two women in black burqas from distance, and his first instinct was to go over and end their lives. After his conversion, he described the event in the following words: "I cried as I prayed for enough strength to go over there and break both their necks." Fortunately, he didn't act on his impulses. He, however, devised a plan to create his own homeland bomb, IED, and set it off right outside the Islamic center of Mosque to kill or injure 200 plus Muslims. He knew that doing so would send him to federal prison and eventually get him executed, but he didn't care. His hatred of Islam was what was keeping him alive. He thought it was doing his country a favor. Interestingly, before he implemented his devious plan, one day he had a conversation with his daughter, who told him about the mother of a boy who sat across from her in the school. Apparently, that woman was a Muslim and had covered her body from tip to toe. On hearing that, McKinney snapped. He started spewing things that children should never hear. His daughter just stood there in silence, appalled. McKinney later said, "She didn't say anything. It was the look on her face. I remember my daughter looking at me like I was absolutely the craziest person on the face of the earth. She was my little buddy. She used to say we were road dogs. I know. I saw it in her eyes. I made her question that love." That was the turning point of McKinney's life. He decided to give the Muslim community one more chance. He went to the Islamic center of Mosque and was greeted by a gentleman with a smile. McKinney told him that he wanted to learn about Islam. The man gave him the English version of the Holy Quran and told him to read it and come back to him with any questions. McKinney did exactly that. Whenever he found something confusing, he would go to the Muslims in that mosque and ask them to explain. To his surprise, they always had all the answers, he says. They would explain it in a way that I could understand what they were talking about. They didn't try to answer a parable with another parable. They just gave me a plain answer. This was an awakening for McKinney. After 8 weeks of his first visit to the Islamic Center, McKinney said his Shahada and became a Muslim. 3 years later, he became the president of the Islamic Center of Mosque, the same place which he once intended to destroy. After his conversion, McKinney said that he was completely wrong about everything that he felt before his conversion to Islam. He says Judaism had a message. Christianity had a message, and Islam had a message. Funny thing is, though, it was the same message. It was about peace. It was about love. Of the three aforementioned religions, McKinney, however, was able to find the answers he was looking for in Islam. He believes that everyone has been sent to this world by the same Creator, and we all have one unanimous purpose: to get along. Nowadays, McKinney lives as a Muslim, a veteran, and a proud American. He is often being summoned to motivational speaking sessions as a guest speaker. His big ambition is to stop the hate from spreading in the world. He says that he has done a lot of things, hurt a lot of people, and he has to live with that. But he believes that if he can direct someone else to the right path, he will be satisfied with himself. He also says that followers of other faiths usually have a lot of questions about Islam and urges his Muslim brothers and sisters to address those questions in a friendly manner, without giving them the impression that anyone is trying to convert them. With that being said, the heartwarming story of Brother Richard McKinney reaches its conclusion.